administration is taking this on board, as you say, and they are plotting and planning, and they have a definitive way forward already in their minds. It's still an incredibly difficult situation, isn't it? I mean, for a start, the US is bogged down very much militarily. Secondarily, I mean, we've seen situations like this in the past. We've seen Srebrenica, we've seen Rwanda, we've seen circumstances where, you know, intervening in a country has been something that the international community has dithered over despite massive death. Is this going to be one of those circumstances?
There are two things here. We have to keep things in context. The U.S. position is no doubt is disappointing, and one major reason for that is that really the U.S. administration is busy with its internal issues, and we have seen, I mean, this is not a prediction, this is not just an assessment, we have seen a clear indicators that the U.S. position has been backing off from the issues in the region, and is not up to the challenge, whether it's in Libya or in Tunisia or in Egypt or in any other places. So there is a serious matter here that we have to keep in context. The other thing is, really, it's to develop a decision like for the U.S. administration that to take action. We have also to keep in mind that there is like a long bureaucratic procedures that will have to be taken into consideration. So it's not a decision that's made by one person. There is a long bureaucracy, and there are many things that will have to be taken care of. Like what happened in Rwanda. In Rwanda, there were serious indicators before the massacre happened in Rwanda, and in New York even, not only the U.S. administration, but in New York, the United Nations received serious messages, advanced notices from the assessment on the ground that things are serious. But until you run this through the bureaucracy of the United Nations or the bureaucracy of the U.S. administration, things take time until the debate is over and until decision is made.
The other question we really need to ask is, should we really be looking to the US and the UN or even the EU for leadership on this? Because at the end of the day, in Libya, as in a number of these Arab countries, a lot of the problems are, rightly or wrongly, seen as stemming from that international community. And just for them to get involved now would just rehash and disinter some of these very old and very deep memories and scars that exist here. Should we not be looking rather to the Organization of Islamic States, the OIC, the Islamic Conference, or the Arab Union, or the African Union?
This is a very good question, and actually my answer to this is that there is no more need at this point, at this time, for serious international intervention, whether it's from the European Union, from in particular his friends in Europe, and we know that we have seen on TV Berlusconi, his friend, and Tony Blair, who visited him in his tent. That the whole rehabilitation program that was designed and done for Al-Gaddafi in the past couple of years after the deals that were made with him. There is no more serious intervention at this point, whether it's from the European Union or from the US, and of course on the top of the list is the Islamic Organization Conference and the Arab League in particular. The silence of the Arab League about what's happening is very alarming, is very dangerous. But here's one important thing that we have to keep into consideration, is that for the European Union at this point, things are at serious stake for them, because now Libya proved in the past decades that has been very effective in preventing illegal immigration. Now, one major reason, sadly, we have to say this, is that one major reason that the European Union started to change their position is because we have seen that there is serious threat to the illegal immigration, not only because of the possible massacres that this person is, might be engaged in Libya. So this serious threat of national serious threat to national interest in Europe is one additional reason for this change in the position of Europe.
All right, just very quickly then, let's just wrap this particular moment up with this one consideration. What we've heard from Gaddafi presages the possibility of some serious violence tonight and in the coming days. But the question remains, does he have the motivation, does he have the desire to murder his own people in vast numbers? And if he does give the order for this to happen, does he have the support of the military and his armed groups to carry that out?
That's a very good question, really. And the answer to this is that he uses, if we review his speech carefully, he used a serious, major strategy of demonization of the enemy, which is, he doesn't believe that these are his people who are doing this. He believes that these are people, foreigners, outsiders, that who are doing this, and he even is refusing the logic that his people bought into this external support, and he's attributing the reason for his people's position is to the hallucination bills. He refuses on the conscious level to acknowledge that his people are revolting against him. So that is what makes his the answer to your question is yes, he has the desire and he has the intention, and if he has the power, I believe he will use it, and which is what we're not certain about this. And the reason for this is that, again, because he believes that this is not his people, it's outsiders.
But will the military support it?
Now, that takes us to the very important question, whether the military will support this and whether he still have the power actually to implement his desire and his right. This is a big question, and what we have seen that there is a split in the military, not only in the military, but in the state institutions. There is a serious split between supporting al-Qaddafi or others that they're against him. So we have seen the pilots that they've defected to Malta yesterday. We have seen units in Benghazi and in Darna and in other places that they also defected and joined the revolution. So we are not certain that he has the power to do it. Oh. And I think also, you know, one important thing to keep into consideration here is that what we have seen on the screens is that he is really in a bulletproof box that he's talking from there. So which is an indicator that he might not really have the power to do this.
For the moment, Ibrahim Shafiq of the Brookings Doha Centre, thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
Let me just recap for you what's been going on. Muammar Gaddafi, the leader of Libya, has been speaking for the past hour. He was uncompromising, unapologetic, and determined to carry on fighting against what he called the drugged youth who were misleading and distorting the picture from Libya. We're seeing on Libyan television pictures from Tripoli, which apparently are showing supporters of Mr. Gaddafi out on the streets following his speech to the nation. We didn't see any of those supporters anywhere near him as he was making that speech, but this is what Libyan television is broadcasting right now. It's maybe a little bit too early to hear word on the ground of what people were reacting or how people were reacting to this, but let's find out what the social media sites have been saying up until now. Imran Khan is over at the web desk with all the details. Imran.
Thanks, Taimur. Well, actually, the web has lit up with reaction to the Libyan leader's speech. Now, as you can imagine, it's not just Libyans reacting, but people glued to their TV sets across the world. Now, I can't read many of the blogs out to you, as the language is colourful, should we say? But let's take a look at some of the ones we can bring you from the micro-blogging site Twitter. Khalid Bitu with this simple statement: this guy is just an idiot. This indignant reaction: Gaddafi says, we haven't used force yet. When needed, we will use it. Damn you, man, the people you killed, oh my God. And this on his instructions to the Libyan people: Gaddafi is